there any nudity in this, or
If you want
Can
to.
there be?
So,
How you Candice go?
What are we talking about?
So we're in New Orleans. When did you guys get here?
Saturday morning?
Saturday
flight
morning.
from Los Angeles.
Ask them when they're leaving.
You guys leaving?
Tomorrow morning, Delta, 7 a.m.
Oh wow, you were on the same flight.
Yeah.
Yes.
No upgrade for me if you guys are on the flight.
Listen, because we used miles to get out here on the short, we ended up using miles to get the upgrade. That's the only way we would have gotten it because.
However, I do have free dream coupons, and you're both welcome to them.
Which we'll be passing to Joey and Candice on the way as they walk down the
And I'd like to mention also that I was asked in the very beginning to do the Joey and Candice show, the Candice and Joey show. When I was asked, Bad Influence Incorporated was in the middle of a nasty legal battle with Sleaze Industries, which has since been settled, so I'm happy to make my official debut on the Candice and Joey show.
We're all gentlemen.
We're thrilled to be part of it all.
Yeah, the young lady.
Yes.
No,
We're really not gentlemen.
We're extraordinary gentlemen. That's what the shirt said in TNA that they stopped selling because they stopped using it.
Remember we had a stable?
We did have a stable for a
Let's talk about wrestling.
No, it always comes up. They tempt us to not talk about wrestling, but it always comes up.
does.
Sure. But I don't want you guys to say anything that later you might be like, maybe don't put that up. Maybe let's cut that, splice that out.
Our life is filled with that.
Yeah.
Remember that time I wore a Marvel t-shirt and they yelled at me 8 months later?
How dare you. This guy always trying to get that little company,
That little Marvel company, you know.
Always trying to give him the rub.
My help on Impact is going to get the Spider-Man movie up and above the box office receipts.
I actually was surprised they let me wear the legalized Sleaze shirt as much as they did before. Like they gave me the Iggy, like, hey, it's not a TNA.
Different people there at the time, but
Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah, wrestling.
anyways,
Wrestling.
Yeah. I you guys are respectful family men. So have you gone and enjoyed any of the nightlife of New Orleans?
we would have loved to, but we wrestled until midnight last night, and by the time we got back to our hotel room, it was probably 2:30.
Yeah, after waiting to get out of the building, finding food, grabbing a shower, because there was no shower in the building, of course.
Why would there be?
Yeah, exactly. Finally, so like 2:05, 2:10, and literally we were beat up from the feet up, so we weren't
You
looking
guys
for
did
any.
two matches rather quick. Candice wrestled twice yesterday.
Yep. Yeah.
A little bit separate. You had to rush from show starting at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, we had to make a 5-mile drive, but it worked out good. And, the unfortunate part of that is that we missed the festivities on Bourbon Street, from which I've heard from numerous individuals.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah,
That's Candice when we got home.
What time did you get home, Candice?
We don't have any.
We're still out.
You're still out.
We slept in the car.
This is all still one day.
We slept in the car for 30 minutes. That's about it. We did.
Not even in a row, I think.
Yeah.
No. I could not sleep because I've never heard anybody snore so loud in my life.
Really?
Well, here's the thing.
I
never
can
Jay Lethal.
I can sleep through anything. I was plugging my ears and kicking the door to wake him up because I was so
We're
mad.
in the car, and so it's just reclined next. So I'm on my back. You know, I can't roll over.
I can.
You're tiny. Tiny.
I'm not.
What if she said I'm not taking it?
Oh, you are tiny. Okay.
I'm a
She
child.
accepts it.
I'm a little person.
It's fine for him to say it about her, but if she said it about him, it's a whole
Yeah, big fight. It's a huge.
She actually got proposed to last
I
night.
did.
I heard.
Proposed marriage.
By who?
heard.
By whom?
I'd heard you've been proposed by 2 people in the same family.
I am.
What's going on?
I'm totally going to be a part of the Carino family.
The Carino family.
Yeah.
The famous wrestling Carino
I am.
family.
I am.
Young-
Candice Carino.
You know what you can do?
Young Colby.
You can do a lot
Took a
worse.
fancy.
You can do a lot worse.
Young Colby took a fancy to Miss Candice LeRae.
Hey, he's got good taste.
Colby might be the strongest candidate out of the Carino family. Like I've met Steve, and Steve and I have been friends for a good 20 years now, and
He supports this.
yeah. You know, he's a good fellow, but Colby's made of good stuff.
Yes. So you mentioned the little company Marvel. Are you keeping up with the product, as it were?
Absolutely, man. I've got friends at Marvel that literally feed me codes every week, so I'm reading even things that I wouldn't necessarily take the time to read.
Yeah.
It's at my fingertips, so I get to read everything. I'm up to date on like Superior Spider-Man. And
would you like to recommend any current books?
The newest books that just came out, Moon Knight just got a new series written by Warren Ellis, which is outstanding. Magneto, yeah, that's happening as well. That's happening off the. This isn't smell-o-vision, but understand that we smell a bit of the herb. Magneto has a new book written by Colin Bunn, which is outstanding. All New X-Men has been good for the last year and a half that it's been out.
Yeah?
Punisher just got a new series that's very good. There's a guy named Nathan Edmondson who's writing Punisher and, oh God, there's another, shit, I can't think of the other one, but he's got 2 series out right now, and they're both so very different, but they're both very good.
I had a really cool comic book coming out really soon.
But that's not from Marvel, that's from us.
So you guys are releasing a comic book?
I wrote a comic book. There's a gentleman by the name of Art Baltazar who works for DC and also has his own stuff. The stuff he does for DC is Tiny Titans, Superman Family and Adventures, and Itty Bitty Hellboys with Dark Horse.
Yep.
It's basically an all ages, he does an all ages feel for his stuff. He also has his own comics called Aw Yeah Comics, which feature the characters Action Cat, Adventure Bug, and Awesome Bear. And so I wrote a comic book where the 2 handsome lads right here meet Action Cat, Awesome Bear, and Adventure Bug, and it's called Christopher Daniels and Kazarian Wrestle Aw Yeah Comics, and it's being released April 23rd, and that's what this t-shirt is the art by Art Baltazar of Bad Influence's favorite tag team.
That's actually a photograph. We're actually human cartoons.
Yeah, I stopped being a human being probably like
Not even real
2000 at this point. Yeah.
2004.
You guys are like the movie Enchanted. You guys are
Yeah, exactly that.
Also, I'd like to point out to the viewing audience that you are looking at the 2 charter members, being Joey Ryan and myself, of the over 30 Mike Trout fanboy club. This is
we're both in our 30s.
Yeah.
And our hero
is a 22-year-old baseball player.
They look down to him.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
We just signed a substantial deal.
Small deal,
Yeah.
small contract to make $144.5 million.
So we're the 2 guys that are in our 30s high-fiving when our 22-year-old hero comes to bat. So
Yeah.
it's not weird.
Not at all. I wrote a comic book. So I mean, it's for like 7-year-olds. So
we really are like,
I love it.
excellent.
like we're professional make-believers who play fight in our underwear. So we're like, maturity's not our thing. Right?
No, God, no. Heavens, no.
Maturity. So Candice, you and Frankie have a little bit of commonality. I just made up that word.
Commonality.
I'll go to the judges on it.
He'll allow it. He'll allow it.
In your musical taste,
Yes, we do.
you guys both are in the
Both huge Lionel Richie fans.
right.
No, of course,
Listen to that.
metalheads.
Medals of heaviness.
Both metalheads,
It's
yes.
funny because he found out through a different person, like a friend of mine that, like Ron, you remember Ron?
I do, yeah.
You saw him at Ozfest or something, and he's like, "Oh, Candice is here," and you were just like,
I was blown away.
Blown away.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
she's like, she's... I didn't know you really good at the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, like, never judge a book by its cover.
Right.
He thought
I was
Britney
just,
Spears.
I didn't think, I don't know what concert was that, in Ozfest? Or
It was
that?
Ozfest.
It was
Yeah,
Ozfest.
it was
So it was
Ozfest.
Ozfest, and it was, who was that? Your Disturbed, Lacuna Coil,
Yes.
Black Label,
Yes.
Ozzy, I don't know who headlined. Was it Ozzy headlined or
Is
Black
that-
Sabbath?
Hang on.
Avenge was there.
Evans was there.
Yeah, I don't recall it.
I went to a Huey Lewis in the News concert once.
Did you?
I did. That was my
I
first big
have
concert.
Huey Lewis in the News Greatest Hits.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I
There's
know
nothing
that's on my iTunes. Candice and I, before we decided on The Darkness,
Yes.
I Believe in a Thing Called Love, we were almost going to come out to Power of Love.
Yes.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Almost.
My
The final runnings.
I think the Darkness is a strong entrance music,
Thank you.
so you win this
what
one.
are you listening to? Anything new?
I'm gonna go see Dream Theater. Do you like progressive?
I'm kind of a prog rock guy.
Yeah?
I like Mike Portnoy. He's awesome.
Yes.
He's in
He's not with Dream
No, I
Theater
know.
anymore. which is-
Winery Dogs.
I actually, when that happened, I kind of was like on strike from Dream Theater for a little bit. I was a little bitter.
But he's with. Have you heard Winery Dogs?
I
They're
haven't.
great.
Yeah?
Winery Dogs is great.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm into it.
They're good.
The Ronnie James Dio tribute album just came out.
Really?
It has a lot of that. Has Anthrax, that has Metallica, has Motorhead.
Sounds amazing.
It has, yeah,
That
it's
sounds so
really good.
amazing.
It's really good. And, yeah, no
There's so much
concerts
music
coming
to
up. I
it.
need to go to concerts. I am going to see Billy Joel.
Wow.
I'm taking the wife to see
Wow.
Billy Joel. I'm
That's
trying to see all these
amazing.
nostalgia acts before they hang it up, you know. So
Shay.
that'll be cool. Yeah.
Nostalgiacs?
Nostalgics.
Is that a term you've coined, or is that a real term?
No, you don't know how long Billy Joel's gonna
No,
be.
I like the term.
Or Paul McCartney or Elton John.
That's kind of like that's how I want people to look at my wrestling now.
nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Well, we're still athletic enough where we're still giving the goods in the ring.
Yeah,
We're not passing on our old. I could really move, and
but
now I'm just.
but you know, like, depending on the show and where I'm at, like, there's a lot of times where I'll just pull out the Joey Ride 2004 playbook and just do like, you know, bring out the hits.
The thing with that is because you are a professional, you know how to read the crowd, and you read what the crowd wants, and you know what they're gonna, what they're gonna pop for. So
Also, because I got you here, since you are a PWG guy, an original
The
the OG,
founder.
Yeah.
he's an OG.
PWG OG, which I still consider myself. I'll always be a PWG guy. I'm going to ask you, since you have ties to the promotion, we have a promise to each other. Whichever one of us dies first, and it could be any day at this time.
At any moment.
Whichever one of us dies
I might
first,
die before this is done
it's
filming.
possible. The other,
It's okay, I've had a good life.
whoever dies first, the other is to run a pro wrestling benefit show, which we've all been a part of, and pocket all the money.
Right.
And we
So-
are fine with this. Whichever
Is it
one
cool
of
if
us.
we do that under the PWG banner?
Of course.
Okay.
The Christopher Daniels
You heard it here.
Memorial Show.
It will be me, let's be honest.
It will be.
I've got 7 years on him, so the odds are good that I'm plummeting towards the finish line.
And I will promise
As
that
we
all the
speak.
funds will go to his family. They will not. They will go to my bank account. They will go to my drug
Frankie's been
and
my family
alcohol.
for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Your Nostalgics tour.
Let's be honest. How many benefit shows have we done where we either A, got screwed, or B, the money went to it? I did a show in California where they were supposed to give the money to a church that burned down, and the guy pocketed the money. I won't mention any names. One of you were actually on that show.
I know this.
You were actually on that show because I forgot my music, and you let me use an 80s compilation music, which I came out to Cradle of Love by Billy Idol. Yes,
Tremendous.
so
It
yeah,
all comes around.
so there's a special place in hell for that gentleman who pocketed the money for the burnt down church.
It's one floor below our special
Yeah.
place in hell.
We have a
I
whole
feel like-
wing reserved.
I
Yeah.
feel like professional wrestling has like it's like, well, it's its own hell first of all. It's its own living hell.
yeah.
But then once the real, it's like the professional wrestling wing. Like you get there, they're like, oh, professional, yeah, you guys have your own
Maybe it's
spot.
different. Maybe since it's hell on earth, maybe we'll get there and like paydays are on time.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Professional wrestling is like a hell starter kit.
yeah.
Like they're just priming the pump for us.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there and they'll treat us like royalty because like we
Went through it here.
yeah, or like because like we did his work. We did the devil's work on earth.
On Earth.
Well, you guys are here. Hey, we've been waiting for you guys. Give this one a cold.
Big fans of yours.
That's a great way to look at it.
Hey, you stole a pre-show of Ward for like 10 years, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on in.
Yep.
Okay.
Candice, do you have anything else for our guests?
Other than that weird glare.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of something very good.
It's all right. I got the punches.
As two of the premier tag teams in the Southern California area,
Yeah.
how has touring as the tag team been going for you guys?
Really well.
Like you guys have, I've been reading, according to your Twitter, you guys are doing a lot of work as the tag team.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
For sure.
Frankie and I, unfortunately, aren't getting that opportunity to travel around the independent horn, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately, we'd like to, because we're always looking to work, and
Right.
I like to make hay when the sun shines. So, but I mean, I know you guys are doing pretty well, it seems. So,
Yeah, people are into the team stuff because I mean it's different and
It's different.
well, it seems like you
They
guys have
work
the
us-
versatility too, because you can either work the mixed tag or you can work two guys.
Yeah.
And you
which is
guys
what we did this
have proven-
weekend. We did against an established guy team, and then we did a mixed tag last night.
Yeah, you've done a lot of matches, a good number of matches, and held your own against some of the lads of this professional wrestling thing. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons, is because it's a very neat little niche that not everybody can fill. The fact that you guys can do both.
Yeah, the reality is everyone wants Candice on the shows, and I figure like, oh, we gotta put Joey. That's
My coattails.
Nothing wrong with that.
firmly planted on the
You
coattail.
guys need to work a team of just women. You need to work a team of midgets.
That'd be great.
Yeah. You need to work say a demolition or a bushwhackers.
You need to
nostalgia
wrestle.
acts,
You need to wrestle Pimpinella, Escarlata,
Yes.
and Cassandra. Of course.
We have wrestled both at.
Yeah.
Of course. See, now see Lucha Vavoom, that would probably be
We did.
I did my
We
first
Lucha Vavoom.
Yeah?
Wait. I can't believe this didn't come when you said that. At Lucha Vavoom, it was me, Candice, and a mini
Yes.
against another guy, another girl, and another mini.
Yeah.
At Lucha Vavoom.
Is that what is midget not?
Well, professional wrestling, they're just known as midgets.
Well, in Mexico they're known as midgets.
Like
There's still midgets here.
In general, but we don't call them midgets. They're like little people.
Little people? I think so. I think that's right, yeah.
Midgets are little tootsie rolls.
That's true.
Can we still call those? Can we still call those midgets?
I think so. They're not going to say anything if we don't.
That's what they're called. I'm pretty sure it's on the label.
Midget's a cute word.
Yeah, but labeling, that people hate labels.
Do you guys have a big midget demographic to watch the Candice and Joey
Possibly.
show? Okay.
Possibly. I mean, we love all our fans.
Bad Influence is big with midgets. Big with midgets.
See what he did there, everyone?
Hold on a second. I'm going to cop this little smoky.
For a second there.
Yeah.
We're getting a contact high, and we won't tell you whose contact we're contacting, but it's over there.
It's
It's off screen. So no names to be mentioned to protect the guilty.
That's most very pleasant.
Ah. It's almost like our friend Biz Diz is in there. Hey, I've been wrestling 20 years. I'm a big rock star.
Okay.
Anywho,
I can't take it home.
take it home, kid.
Wow.
What's your finish, kid? I'll lay down for it.
For worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if that speaks too highly of us, though.
No, it speaks very highly of you. Just not of the last couple of collabs we've been had.
When are we gonna wrestle?
When are we gonna wrestle?
When
Look
are we
at
gonna wrestle?
there's that Fed in the Southern California area.
Yep.
One of our friends over here happens to have ties to.
And that was a very
Oh, I don't mind. No,
that was very good.
I want him to know.
As soon as Bad Influence is available to be on digital video discs,
Certain language is written differently in certain. No
digital video discs released by High Spots, then
Well, it almost happened. It almost
Right,
happened.
you got-
I got the clearance for
we still don't know if it was a one-time thing or if it was.
I don't think it was, man. Or maybe it's just it's their way of saying, well, we got no use for this fella, so feel free to put him on your diz.
I would like to right now go on record and say I'd like Chris Daniels to up and I'm in the PWG Hall of Fame.
Right.
When I go in.
It would be my pleasure. It would be my pleasure. I've got a speech ready. I have it ready.
So,
It's the same speech I'll give when I take the money from his Frankie Kazarian memorial show and run through my.
Who should be the first inductee in the
PWG Hall of Fame, I would, without saying myself, because
Yeah, without voting for yourself.
that's being an arrogant prick, and even though I am an arrogant prick,
That's really our shtick.
I would have to say, Super Dragon, man.
Yeah.
Just because he's, when PWG started, he was the guy, and he was, people don't realize how big of a name he was in SoCal. He was, man, and
Right.
like
And he's
you
the guy
guys.
he's the guy behind the scenes.
Sure.
Right.
I would definitely say PWG.
Yeah, it'd have to be him. If not him, Excalibur would be.
Right.
It's not the in-ring
I think
part of it.
Excalibur would have to
definitely
do
behind the
accepted
scenes.
speech though because
Yeah,
Megan doesn't talk.
That's right.
I had an idea and I thought I honestly thought it would draw probably just as well as a PWG show as if we had like the PWG roast of Super Ready. And we said guys come up and
You know what? You know what you guys should do instead, like for the next time you guys do, for example, Best of Los Angeles or All-Star Weekend or whatever, do a day early where you do that, almost like the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Right.
You do the roast of Super Ready.
like a Thursday night.
Sure.
I'm not saying, man.
The PWG roast of Super Ready.
I'm not saying.
It doesn't talk, so it'd have to be Excalibur doing the rebuttal.
Yeah.
Well, or you could just pick who would give you the
I
wacky
said
driver.
Yeah.
His rebuttal.
He just drops everyone on the room.
violence parties all over the place. Surf songs.
Yeah, no shit.
Everybody's dead.
Remember when you hit your finish on that from the top rope to the floor?
Yeah, I was much younger.
Yeah.
Much
He told me,
younger.
I learned a story about when he got suplexed from the ring.
Through like barricades.
We
That was the first guerrilla warfare.
No, it was after that. We did
Oh,
the
okay.
Iron Man. We did that Iron Man
Oh,
went
okay.
overtime, whatever. Someone asked me recently, like, what's the worst bump I've ever taken? Like somebody like new at the wrestling school, and, like new kid questions, like, oh, what's the worst bump you ever And I was like, couldn't think of it, and then it came to me. It was like, I was in this Iron Man match, Super Dragon, and like, you know, I was on the inside, he was on the apron, he was, you know, suplex to the floor, right? And then he was gonna do the thing where like, oh, and I land on my feet and I crumble, and oh, I'm into so much pain. But nope, he got me up here and he took the bump and I took the back, and
I remember
boom,
bump on the floor.
back bump on the floor, and I was just, wind immediately gone. Like in the video, you see me like immediately turn over, just trying to catch my breath again.
Oh.
That's bad. Now, since you've done both, I want to ask: is that more difficult than locking up with Joe Park? Because that's also really difficult.
Joe Park was my most favorite TNA match I ever had. It was that cold pay-per-view match that had no build.
Sure, I remember it. Yep.
I went out there and I cut the like, I hate this town promo in San Antonio, and you know, and then it was fun. And like, I got behind it and like you know, Bischoff even came up to us and just like, hey, you know, it was a cold match and you guys got it over. It was awesome. And I was like, sweet, I have job security. Yeah, and like, literally like 2 months later.
Give me that back.
Yeah, right. And then the other part about that was that, so like my contract was up in June, and I got the FedEx saying like, because it was a year contract with a year option, and I got the FedEx in June saying like, we want to pick up the option. We want you to be another year. And I was like, but they weren't doing anything with me, so I was like, okay, sweet. Like the office liked me, I know Bischoff liked me, Hogan liked me, so I was like, sweet, I got another year. And then like a month, maybe less than a month later, I got the call from Allison saying like, hey, blah blah blah. So like, it was kind of like a tease, like, all right, I got another year. I got another year. And then like, hey, we're cutting the budget. We got nothing for you right now. It's nothing personal. We like your work.
All this and we got to use book of cliches.
Right. And then.
And now you have a really awesome tag team partner.
Yeah.
Now I have a really awesome tag team.
Things are looking good.
Yeah.
Nothing to complain
We did
about.
awesome in her TNA match, even though it was 3 minutes.
Oh yeah. You were. Yeah, she.
And then you know.
They didn't say anything about my Marvel comic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Right.
Of course not.
just saying. Maybe they're just gonna notice now.
This girl here got a standing ovation in her Shimmer debut yesterday. So she's doing all right for herself.
Yeah.
Of course, while she's getting the standing ovation in Shimmer, I'm pulling my phone out to email promoters being like, hey, Candice got really over in Shimmer, you should book Candice and Joey on your show, Sen.
Yep.
I wonder if anybody thinks her last name is and Joey.
Yeah, right.
Book Candice and Joey.
Yeah, we want to book that Candice and
Who's
Joey
this
girl.
Mrs. Yeah, I'd like to buy a plane ticket for a Mrs. Anjoy.
Yeah.
I think her first name is Candice.
Yeah.
How do you spell Anjoy? I think it's ampersand Joey. So
There's something.
No, it's gonna be Carino. So
that's right.
we're good.
well, it'll be Anjoy hyphen
Hyphen
Carino.
Feel free to end it however you want.
Sign off.
Well, you can. Well, let's plug our nonsense.
All your nonsense.
We're the book comes out April 23rd. We'll plug it all over Twitter, and if you don't follow us on Twitter, first of all, start doing so. He's at Frankie Kazarian. I'm at FAC Daniels, and
We'll be at the C2E2 convention,
comic convention in Chicago,
Yep.
the 25th and the 27th of April, pushing the book for the very first time.
We'll be at WrestleFest May 17th.
Yep.
Kirk White.
We'll be on a one-night only pay-per-view taping next Saturday. We don't know when you'll see that because we're not sure what that's going to be.
Yep.
What else?
Yeah, I was gonna say like you'll probably have already done that by the time this goes on, but then
Possibly.
But then that won't
Absolutely.
air until after.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
it's absolutely
Right.
possible. Candice and Joey versus Bad Influence may be coming to a town near you soon.
I completely forgot the joke I thought of before we started this, which was that Mike Trout is Frankie and Mike's favorite angel. And
Yes.
Chris's favorite angel is obviously the fallen angel. The fallen angel.
Yep.
I was gonna throw that in there somewhere, but
That's fine.
Okay.
Even explaining it is funny. So
I mean,
Okay.
this is because we do this on the fly.
Yeah, we call it in the ring, brother.
Call it in the ring.
Tack up, drop down, get it again.
duck your head,
Yeah,
take
lace
my
up these
fingers.
boots.
This is going up my ass though, so we gotta be done.
Whoa!
Oh, brother.
And it
And
turned
on
into
that, and on that.
it turned into a Vivian video.
This is going up my ass edition of the Candice and Joey Show.
Signing
Signing
out.
out.
Good night. We're 9 Inch Nails.